Hey everyone, it's McDuo's Girl, and today I'm sharing with you the first room build that I've uploaded, and I wanted to do kind of an artist storeroom, and I was inspired to do this from two things. One I mentioned in a previous video. I had been watching a show on Netflix called Penny Dreadful, and in that show, Dorian Gray has this giant ballroom filled with top to bottom with portraits, and I thought it looked really neat. And the other inspiration for this was the new DLC for Layers of Fear, and I don't know how many of you guys have played that, but basically it surrounds this. I'm not going to give away too many spoilers, but it surrounds this guy who's just this obsessive perfectionist artist, and it's very old-fashioned. So that's kind of the vibe I wanted to give off here as best I could. So everything is a little bit old-fashioned looking. There's just this crazy amount of clutter all over the place, so it looks like this room is just very used. It's like somebody's in there 24 hours a day just obsessing over paintings, and there's just stuff everywhere. And I think it looks pretty realistic, and for the most part old-fashioned. I had a little bit of trouble with the windows, but I think it looks okay. It would have looked better if I had been able to find some curtains for the front windows where that little bay area is, but I'm trying to do this. This is all base game, by the way, I couldn't find any curtains that really fit those rounded windows in the front. I did find some for the side windows there, so it helped make it look a little bit older. And some of the paintings are a little bit more modern. I tried to keep the most modern ones out. Like, I didn't put too many abstracts or anything in there. But for the most part, it ends up looking fairly old-fashioned in the end, and very cluttered and very crazy looking. And I just thought it looked so cool. And if I was going to do an aspiration for my sim that was just becoming a master artist, this would definitely be the room I would want, because there are 3 easels in there. Places to sit down. You can listen to music while you're painting, so your Sims fun's not going to go all the way down. And there's, as you can probably guess, a ton of environment points in here for your Sims. So I did test this room, and and you'll see how cluttered it gets pretty soon. Only a couple things needed to be moved, and I moved them before I took the screenshots. So in the upper little loft area up there, there's an easel in front of the window, and I put a lamp and a chair in front of it, so it looks like he was like sitting, or your sim would be sitting and painting, but obviously that didn't work. I don't even know what I was thinking when I did it. So I ended up removing the chair and moving the lamp later on, and I think, if I remember right, I just got done testing this. I think if I remember right, those were the only things that I had to change. But one thing, there are a couple things you're not going to see me do in the video here, and one of them is actually painting the outside of the house. It's a room build, so I didn't really think, making the outside was going to be all that necessary, because, I mean, if you were going to download this, you'd just use it. That was my dog dropping his food bowl. Sorry. He decided that's his new toy for some reason. I don't know. But anyway, so I paint the outside just plain white. So if you were going to add this to another house, you're not going to have to remove a bunch of stuff to kind of fit it in with your Sims house. And I do end up, let's see, oh, that's right. I forgot I decorate this entire room, put clutter everywhere, and I go in with my test sim at the very end, and there was no door. That was something kind of obvious to miss. So you don't see me put a door in, but I do put it at the bottom of the staircase, and I put in that door that generally you have to unlock when you're actually playing the game, but it's the hidden door with the bookcase. And I left the bookcase part of it facing the inside, because I thought it just looked cooler, since I had to get rid of stuff that was in that corner. I think it was just like I had to move a plant over or something. It wasn't anything too huge, but I think those are the only things that I ended up having to move. So I was actually surprised because of how cluttered it was. I thought, like, for sure I was going to have to go and do testing and then just rearrange everything. And you'll see why I think that in a few minutes here when you start seeing me put stuff in, because there's just stuff everywhere, and it doesn't, and it's not very organized down there. There's furniture that's kind of angled in all different directions, because I really wanted this to just look extremely lived in. Just like there's like some sim in there constantly, and there's just stuff everywhere. I actually almost went a little overboard. I was going to leave like piles of clothes and stuff everywhere, but I didn't want to go quite that far. And I did leave it a little bit dark. There's not too many lights in here except for a couple of spotlights that are sort of in front of the easels. So I mean, if you do download this and you want to add more lighting, that would make a little bit more sense, just because at night it does tend to get a little bit dark in some of these areas. But I kind of wanted it to be a little bit gloomy and cold feeling, so I didn't want to add too many lights in there, just because of the vibe I was sort of going for. So you'll see it ends up looking really, really nice. And as you probably saw earlier, I tried to fit a bed upstairs. I was originally going to make this like a bedroom / artist storeroom, but I decided against it, and mostly because I didn't really find a bed that I thought looked all that great. I wanted like a double bed in here, but I just wanted to put so much other stuff in there that I decided against putting a bed in. I really wanted to make it a bedroom, like an artist bedroom, but in the end, there was just so much stuff. I just wanted it to look so crazy. I just decided I didn't want a bed because I didn't want to have to put in a dresser and like a shoe rack and all that stuff in here, because I didn't want to have to take any of the paintings off of the walls. So it was gonna be like this crazy looking bedroom, but in the end, you know, it just ended up being this crazy big artist room, and it is pretty expensive. I think it ended up being a little over $100,000, and this room is really, really big. So if you're going to download this to put to add on to like one of your house builds, it would definitely have to be a mansion on a giant lot. I just used a very small lot for this, so you could fit it in pretty much any lot. If you did want to just end up turning this into a full-fledged house or something, I don't know why you would, but it would fit on any lot, but definitely it would be added onto a very large mansion type looking place. So and I think something really cool that I could have done was maybe put in a bar or something in here. If I was going to use any packs, I probably would have used the Dine Out pack, just because they have wine racks, or in The Sims, nectar racks that I would have put in here, just more so because of the vibe I was going for, especially because I was inspired by Layers of Fear, and you'll see in that, and if you ever play that game, or if you have played it, there's wine bottles everywhere. I really wish they had just a wine bottle, like an empty wine bottle that you could just put around as clutter. That would be really cool, because I would just have wine bottles, like empty ones, all over the place. I think that would have looked just amazing. But I did want to keep this base game just to add to my base game playlist. And you guys notice that I only ever use base game and Dine Out, and the reason for that is because Dine Out is actually the only game add-on that I have. I don't have any of the other game add-ons right now, so I'm trying to be as creative as possible with what I have until I get the other game add-ons. I don't have any of the stuff packs. I'm working on getting everything else, and I can't wait. I know it's so late in the game to not have even get to work or anything like that, but I actually don't have it, and I can't wait till I can bring you guys some cooler stuff using the new stuff packs and everything. But right now I'm just trying to be as creative as possible with what I have. So if you guys are looking for anything like a retail store or anything, I'll try and have those out to you soon, but I can definitely do some restaurants if you guys wanted to see anything like that. I have built some restaurants. There's actually a restaurant, if you find me on the Sims 4 gallery, there is a restaurant that I have up there available for download. So, and I can do more of that stuff if you guys want me to, so just let me know. And I'm actually going to leave this here because the screenshots are coming up pretty soon. I did take quite a few for how small of an area this is. There are none of the outside, just because there isn't really anything on the outside. It's just plain white. There's no landscaping, obviously, just because it's a room build. But if you guys want to download this, my origin ID is Cyberbot99, or you can type in the hashtag McDuosGirl in the Sims 4 gallery, and you'll find all of my builds. This one's already up and available, so if you want to download it, it's there. My Twitter and my Facebook are both linked. You can check those out. Sometimes I put in some little previews of things that I'm building and I have not uploaded yet for you guys to download or to watch the speed build of. And if you want to leave me any suggestions or pictures of things you want me to recreate, you can leave those on my Twitter. And definitely, if you have any suggestions or comments or feedback or anything, you can leave me a comment down below. And of course, if you guys download this and you make any changes or modify it, please share that with me. I'd love to see what you guys can do with these builds and how you can modify them. That would be really cool seeing that. So if you guys do download this and modify it a little bit, please share that with me. That would be really awesome. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a good one.